Coral reefs are huge underwater cities that provide a lifeline for a quarter of all marine species and for every island in the Maldives. They are the reason behind the Maldives' amazing biodiversity and beauty. Corals are a relative of the jellyfish. They build hard outer skeletons in which they live. These reef-building corals provide other reef inhabitants with food sources, homes, and support the entire ecosystems above them. Hi, I'm Charlie, a marine biologist here at Best Dives Maldives. Best Dive Maldives are a diving, water sports and luxury yacht excursion company, and we care deeply about the environment that we operate in. As ocean people, we understand how important it is to us. As such, we're doing our part to help the reefs that are so critically in trouble. As ocean temperatures warm due to climate change, coral reefs across the Maldives are starting to bleach. In 2016, a huge bleaching event killed most of the corals on our reef here and has left it completely devastated. However, a few corals survived, and from these survivors, we hope to rebuild the next generation of coral reefs. Corals need something to grow on, like hard substrate. We had some artificial frames that we used, and we can attach the corals onto these frames and use them to build a nursery. We got the frames and we moved them from an old position closer to our dive shop so they could be more easily monitored. Once the frames were in place, we looked for coral of opportunity. These are corals that are in trouble because they're in a bad position, and we take these and give them a new lease of life on our frame. In this way, the coral can be taken and the reef is not hurt, so we're only having positive impacts on the coral. It's also possible to look for super coral, which have a higher tolerance to the warm temperatures. This will increase the reef resilience and give them a defense against bleaching in the future. Once the corals are collected, we fragment them down. Fragmenting is the process of breaking corals into smaller pieces, usually about 3 to 8 centimeters. Once they're this size, it actually increases their growth rates and it makes them easier for us to work with to attach them onto the frames. Once we've planted them, we can track their progress. They will normally take about 2 weeks to self-attach to the frames, and after that point they will grow anywhere between 2 centimeters and 10 centimeters per year, depending on the species. Once they are big enough, they can be replanted back onto the reef. We will keep some of the corals on the frames because it's really important that some of the rare corals spawn. In this way, they can create hundreds of tiny little corals almost overnight, and they will spread and repopulate the reef. Increasing the amount of coral that is on our reef is obviously good, but the real success is when we get these super corals to start spawning and creating a more resilient future for the corals that we're growing. This process is long and it's hard and it's laborious, but I think it's definitely worth it. And if we really want to make sure the corals have a future on our planet, then we must ensure that as a society, we choose more greener options, reduce our carbon footprint, and reduce the effects of climate change. Hopefully soon, one day, our reefs can recover.